Illinois in Garden Zone 5. It is a rainy day out and a perfect day to be inside. So a few weeks ago, I had put out a community post to you all and asked you what you wanted to see in future videos. And the overwhelming response was, your choice in the poll was that you did want to see a video about the garden house and it being styled up with thrifted finds. So that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing on the agenda is I'm going to get cleaning and then we're going to start styling up with thrifted finds. So let's get going today. And if you're not part of our community, please think about joining. We post in the community posts throughout the week and give you updates on what's going on in the garden and behind the scenes. So we would love for you to join our community. And I'm asking you today to comment below. Give me some input on the video, what you think, what you liked on the thrifted finds, and let's get going today. So first up is cleaning. Okay, so I have my paper towels, I have my cleaning, I have my little bag to put my used paper towels in. So on both sides of the garden house, we have up on the top here a ledge. And I like to put decor up here and display it. But I've just been adding to, and now it's just starting, I think it's starting to look messy, and it's time to give it a refresh. And I've put different flowers out here, silk flowers, and then added to, and so I have multiple colors. So it's just time to take it all down and start over again. Okay, so we got the first one all cleaned off, and now we have another one to clean off behind it.
I think it's really helpful to take everything down or off a shelf or whatever you're restyling. Even if you're using the same items over again, it gives you a whole fresh perspective when you restyle it. Now this was the DIY chandelier that I did last season and the DIY table and chair, that all that stuff I bought thrifting and refinished it last season for the garden house, spray painting, adding things, reupholstering. So those were fun projects and I got them very inexpensively to add to the garden house.
Now I'm going to start styling up above here on this side first. And I think on this side now, for something different, I'm going to style most of the blue over on this side. And I picked up this mirror a couple weeks ago when I was out thrifting. And normally I wouldn't do blue. And when I bought it, I thought that I would actually spray painted a different color, but because I'm going to do blue, I'm going to leave it. And I like it as up against the wall, kind of as a backdrop, but I ended up, they had originally the price on this was $20 and I got it for $5, and it's old and really heavy.
Now on this side of the room, I'm adding the greenery in the middle and then putting some of the taller things in the middle as the focal points. So that tall planter, the DIY planter from the spring that I spray painted. Now I do put like vases, planters, baskets, cloches. I store all of those up on those both sides on those shelves. But I do like to have them set up in a pretty looking setting. So I'll add in some decor, and then as I need those items to use for different things throughout the season, I'll pull them down and reuse them for whatever, if it's a vase or if it's a cloche. And then when it's not in use, I put them back up on the shelf. Now, a lot of times on the baskets, I do like to add silk flowers because we're in the garden house. That is not heat or air conditioned, it would be very hard to keep live plants or flowers in there. So I do a lot of silks inside of the garden house. Now this shelf I purchased on Amazon last year, and I'll link it below. And I really liked it because it was an open shelf and it's gold, so it goes with the color theme that I have in the garden house. But originally when I bought it, I thought I'd use put a lot of vases on it. And I do put some vases on it, but I also like putting beautiful decor on it. Then I have a pre-loved rug that was gifted to me by a family member. And that little side table I thought was really cute. And my sister's neighbor was getting rid of it. They no longer wanted it. There was nothing wrong with it. So my daughter took it and painted it and used it in her home for a while. And then she was clearing out and wanted to know if I wanted it. And I thought it would be perfect in the garden house. I also have a cute new garden chair, and if you have been watching for a while and are one of my regular viewers, you know I've been looking for a new garden chair. Can't wait to show you at the end. Now adding some garden decor to the little side table, just to give it that more gardeny feel and display stuff. This is the thrifted little island table and chair that I picked up last year and DIY'd. Spray painted it, reupholstered the seat. I'm working on a DIY for the garden house. So this urn I've had, and it was a thrift find, and I picked it up for $3 or $4. And I just don't like the color. It's just too dark for me. And so I have one of my new favorite colors is this Tate green, which is a Rust-Oleum chalk paint. So we're going to try that on it. So when you're out thrifting and you come across something you like, but you don't like the color of it, keep that in mind. Could you spray paint it and change it? Okay, we're gonna let that dry and then I will flip it over and do the back side. Now I will tell you on the chalk paint, I was reading the back of the can the other day, and it does say that it is supposed to be just for indoor use, which I'm using this inside the garden house, so it should be fine. But that other planter I did use outside, and I didn't see it being outside that it did much damage, but maybe over time it would chip off. Could be. But it does recommend that you use this chalk paint inside. Okay guys, I am so excited to show you reveal day. So I restyled it with thrift finds, the garden house. Now just so you know, for perspective, the garden house is 12 by 16. So 12 foot by 16 foot. So let me show you how I styled up the garden house. Let me show you the new garden chair. I have to tell you some stories first before I start showing you everything. Okay, so if you're a regular with me, you know I've been looking for a garden chair. So I stopped at this market, and it was towards the end of the day. So the shop owner said everything, she had a sign that said 50 to 75% off. And then she said, but everything's 75% off because it was later in the day. So this chair was $60 and then it was 75% off. So I have a garden chair, it'll work perfect out here,
And then a lot of thrift finds that I have found I have thrifted for many, many years. And a lot of the garden house finds, though, have been just in the last couple years. And then I told you I do have a few things that were purchased new, but not lately. It was stuff that I had already purchased. Like the curtains that I have are linen curtains that I purchased off of Amazon last year. And the bookcase I told you I purchased off of Amazon. But I'm looking around and I'm thinking about everything else was thrifted. So let's get going, guys. I want to show you how this turned out. And then I definitely want you to comment below. Let me know what you think. Okay, so we're going to start on this side of the room. Now, as you walk in the doors, I'm standing in front of the double doors. And so you see over here is the little island table and the chair that I picked up thrifting last year. Now, this was brown and then it had a laminate top on it that was all peeling off. So I actually picked it up at a thrift store and asked them if they would come down on the price because I knew that I would need to refinish it. And then my son made the top and the white base at the bottom that is more like the ledge. So there you see that little DIY black vase that I just spray painted green. Now the chair that I got with this was not a set. I picked it up actually on the same day, but at a different store. And I thought it tied in nicely and had the leaf motif on it, which to me kind of was gardeny. It had like a brown seat cover. So I took that linen curtain that I've showed you before. I got 2 of those at Goodwill and recovered it with that linen tweed cotton material. So keep that in mind when you're out thrifting. If you come across some nice curtain material, tablecloth material, what else could you use that for? Could you use it to recover a chair or a footstool or anything, make throw pillows out of? Now up above our ledge, this is how I ended up styling it up for now. And we'll change it up, but I do like that blue mirror, and I've used a lot of blue flowers as accents and then just tied in with different decor pieces. I've got an extra end table that I picked up at the French market last year that folds down, so I can double that if I need to put a plant on or use as workspace. Look at my new chair, guys. Isn't that cute? It's got those French legs on it that I like. Now let me tell you, there's a story about this on top of the story that I've already told you. It's dark wood. I'm not overly thrilled with the dark wood. So I was thinking, how could I paint this? Could I paint this? So I was showing it to my daughter and she's like, oh mom, you can't paint it. You've got to leave it like it is. It is in excellent condition. So that is what I decided. I think she's right. I think I should just leave it. I think I would ruin it probably if I tried to paint it, and I don't know that it would turn out well. So for now, I'm gonna leave it, and I really like it with that burgundy and pink scarf. It ties in. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed being in the garden house and seeing how I styled it up with thrift finds. If you are looking for more garden inspiration, check out these videos next. Have a great week.